with a Shadow Abomasnow, a Gliscor as well. So really doing those off-meta picks. And you mentioned at OCIC, his team was all about making the opponent uncomfortable. We have come to expect these meta picks, and he picked some uncomfortable matchups, some matchups that perhaps his opponents didn't know.
No, I absolutely agree. He played them to perfection as well. Very well played by all three of these trainers. Valiant Fish as well, qualifying earlier on in the season. Stephanie, we have 38 trainers that have already qualified for Worlds in Yokohama, Japan. Are there any names here that just jump right out to you?
Definitely. We have Bird Power 13 and Nhoff as well. Nhoff, already qualified in Pokemon Go, is out there playing today in the video game. Do we have a double qualifier in our future? We will have to see. How about you, Fish? Who stands out here on our World's Qualified players for you?
So many talented trainers here. We've had 16 events along our 2023 roadmap so far. 8 of them have gone to a bracket reset, Stephanie, and 4 of those losers bracket champions have actually won the entire tournament, as well as Doobug 97. One of my favorite stories as well. Just an incredible trainer, able to reverse sweep his opponent, come back and win that finals in Arlington.
Really, and there is one trainer we have to talk about, and that is Human Catcher Bug.
Absolutely.
Really setting that Charizard example, especially that Shadow Charizard example, for the rest of the trainers out there in the world have really picked up on this trend.
Yeah, so our banner there says what to expect this weekend. I don't think anyone saw the Shadow Charizard coming in Liverpool, and as well the Shadow Mawile coming in Orlando. I mean, these Pokemon are really, really fun and exciting to watch. What are you expecting to see here this weekend in Knoxville?
So really, I'm expecting to see more of this Charizard, and my question is, do you run it Shadow, like Human Catcher Bug, or do you run it like Fish on a Heater, non-Shadow?
That's a great question. We saw Fish on a Heater able to survive more neutral damage, right? Those miniature ice punches and body slams from the top of frenzy.
Fish basically get rich as fucking mouth. What? That's scary ass thing. I bet you ain't been on the book. Cool deal. It's my city. Keep with this smoke a little fun. Try.
What about your PC? That scholarship don't mean shit. I got respect for all the training. I got God's respect. Try that. Hey, hold up.
Yeah, there is a big question out there. Do you run the fast attack of Charm, or do you run the fast attack of Powder Snow? There are pros and cons to each. With Charm, you are dealing a lot of heavy, neutral, fast attack damage.
Yes,
however, with Powder Snow, you can get to those ice and weather balls even faster.
Yes.
I think Powder Snow works really well if you're in a prolonged matchup, because you can crank out all of those punchy weather balls faster. You can even take on a Galarian Stunfisk, a Steel and Rock type Pokemon. You have a much better matchup with that Powder Snow, especially as a Shadow.
Well, when trainers first heard that Shadow Alolan Vulpix was coming to the Team Go Rocket pool, I think a lot of trainers thought that Powder Snow would be the option. But I think that Charm has actually been the superior choice amongst these trainers, finishing in the top 8, the top 4 of these recent regional championships. For example, Bosox guy running that fast attack Charm. I think Fairy is a bit underutilized in the current meta, and I think it did find a home there on his team, being able to counter Pokemon like Sableye, Medicham very effectively.
Yeah, it really depends on what you want to build your team around and what kind of damage you want to put out. Do you want to put out that Fairy type damage, or is it all about freezing out your opponents with ice?
I like the way you put that. That being said, we are here live in Knoxville, Tennessee, but if you want to follow along online, you can absolutely do that on any of these social platforms. Twitter @PlayPokemon. Make sure to use that hashtag PlayPokemon. We're also on YouTube /Pokemon and a couple more platforms as well.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, get out there and go ahead and chat it up and follow along with the action.
Well, speaking of action, Stephanie, so much is going on in Pokemon Go. We have the primal raids coming as well. I think we have a short trailer to show everyone watching at home.
Oh.
Pokemon Go Hoenn Tour is going global this weekend, and trainers all around the world can participate. Stephanie, I'm so excited for this event because as we look at each of these Pokemon generations, Hoenn is just packed with PvP viable Pokemon, and there's a lot to love about this event.
There really is, but the first thing you have to do before you play the event is you have to answer a very important question. Ruby or Sapphire?
Each one is Sapphire.
Oh, it's the same.
I think there are three experiences with Pokemon breakfast. It does have some special shiny Pokemon. I think that a lot of these Pokemon, for example, we got Swamp, we've got Vigoroth, we've got Victoria, kind of coming from this region. I think these are pretty valuable Pokemon.
Exactly. Sableye that we've been seeing all over the place, especially in the Go Battle League right now doing the Hoenn Cup. Sableye is a force to be reckoned with, so is Gardevoir. Lots of really fantastic Pokemon here.
Well, Stephanie, my mythical wish for this Hoenn Tour is to acquire a shiny, rainy cast form. Engage in that password research as well. I'm so glad of that, Stephanie. You catch a lot of Pokemon first with same regions.
You really do. It's definitely a grind. It's a big challenge. But the prize at the end, that shiny Jirachi, is certainly worth all of the effort. And I am also after that rainy cast form. When we did our grudge match caster battle, you displayed how great that rainy cast form is, and I am really looking forward to catching one for myself.
Well, Rayquaza joins the fray here, as well as Mega Latios and Latias. Breaking Swipe Rayquaza, such an incredible Pokemon, blowing your opponent's attack, dealing that dragon-type damage. It looks so powerful in that sort of
It really does. So that Pokemon you're going to want to be sure to team up with your friends and take on throughout the course of the weekend.
There are also some Pokemon available in raids and the 1-star eggs. You can catch Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip. We also have 5-star raids and those primal raids, which looks so exciting, Stephanie. You need a lot of friends to defeat those primal raid bosses.
Yes, and Pokemon Go is a community game, so it's so important to team up with people to take on those incredibly powerful raid bosses.
One of the special events here are those terrains where you can encounter limited spawn pools. Look at these Pokemon here, Stephanie. Any standing out to you? Personally, that Megon looks pretty great to me.
Yes, Blistering Sands is just one of the many different habitats. There are 4 different ones that are going to rotate through, so be sure you are catching all of those different wild encounters. Also, depending, Ruby or Sapphire, you and I, Speedy, we're going to be taking a look at that Minun, which can be really good in limited formats, as well as we're both after that rainy cast form.
No, we absolutely are. Whalmer and Lunatone are a lot of fun as well. And speaking of fun, we have some costume Pokemon as well. Those Pikachus look adorable. Pikachu with Brendan's hat or Pikachu wearing May's bow. If you had to choose one, Stephanie, which one?
Oh, I'm going to be looking for that shiny Pikachu wearing May's bow. That is adorable. So that is something I will be on the hunt for this weekend.
Also hatching from eggs during this event, make sure to fire up those incubators because Azurill is available in 2-kilometer eggs, which can evolve into Azumarill there, which is a great big Pokemon.
Yeah, of course it is. Also, those 10-kilometer eggs as well. Be sure to get out there and go if you want to get the regional Pokemon that are available, such as Tropius and Relicanth.
Well, my philosophy is that you need to look good to play
blue Kyogre tracksuit, and I am definitely representing Sapphire Mystic. All of that good stuff this weekend.
Well, it does look really cool. Personally, Stephanie, I like that Groudon jumper. It's so intimidating. And I like those black and white graphics there as well. So make sure to go ahead and grab those avatar items. And as well, Stephanie, I really love the Pokestops here at each of the regional championships. Make sure to attach some of these adorable stickers to those gifts as you send them to your friends. My favorite is the Kecleon.
Yep, and be sure you are checking Pokestops for Kecleon. Also, that Mudkip. Mudkip is my favorite first partner Pokemon from the Hoenn region. I like Mudkips.
Mudkip is incredible and Swampert is very powerful. Trainers, make sure to manage your Pokemon storage so you can catch the most. This weekend, storage actually increased a bit, and there's some new music in the game, Stephanie.
Yeah, Junichi Masuda composed some new music for Pokemon Go. So if you're a trainer that typically plays with the music on, crank up the beats this weekend. You're in for a treat.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Stephanie, we only have a moment here. Can you just toss out some names of trainers to watch here in Knoxville?
Oh, definitely the Fitzy family, Khaleesi Fitzy and Buckeye Fitzy, who's already qualified. The family that plays together stays together, and I am such a big fan of the Fitzy family.
I agree. It's going to be a great event here in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're kicking things off, and we're going to hand the mics over to our friends, Mark Sun and Alpha Phoebe. Casters, take it away.
All right, thank you so much, Speediest and DeFi. I am Alpha Phoebe, and I'm joined here by my co-caster, Mark Sun. How are you doing?
Doing great. How you doing, Phoebe?
I'm doing quite well. You look like you have maybe a little bit of a tan from Orlando?
Yeah, I think we do. We spent quite a bit of time in Florida here today, but we are here in Knoxville, the Marble City as we know it. I'm pretty excited. We're coming towards the end of the season, and we're going to have one more large tournament here to see, some very high-level battlers this weekend.
Yeah, we're looking at some fun facts for Knoxville. Knoxville does have one of its previous mayors from 1952 to 1955 is the inventor of the dumpster, but we're not really expecting any dumpster games here. We're looking for some really high level of play, right?
Yeah, I don't think Arbiter's going to make it out this weekend, Phoebe. So maybe, we might have to stick to the actual core meta.
Yeah, definitely some core meta. But while we're playing our regional here in Orlando, in Knoxville, there's been some really great battles going on the other side of the lake in Bochum. We've seen the Dene and Alvarez team make it into day 2. I wanted to point out that that player, China, 7-2, took inspiration from Caleb Penn's Metachamp lineup, where he's running both Dynamic Punch and Psychic. He's saying very humbly that, maybe Caleb might not know who he is, but Sean, if you're out there and you're listening, I think Caleb knows who you are now.
Yeah, and I appreciate that moveset on Metachamp. I think we were chatting about it earlier, right? Metachamp, although I've seen as a counter some kind of skill types, but it does kind of struggle in that red skill matchup, right? If you don't have any fighting coverage moves, that Dynamic Punch really, make sure that you win the matchup without having to invest in any protections.
Yeah, it has such flexibility with all the different charge moves that it has access to. Ice Punch, Psychic, Dynamic Punch, Power Punch, really versatile play depending on that moveset. All right, we've had
maybe go into the
our other casters
Nemo in a little bit. All right, make sure you go for him.
Making some play.
Pretty excited about that. So I had a week in the Master League, and I don't have the full level 50 XLs, right? But so to kind of revisit all that and look forward to replays coming in there, I think a Dragon Claw clone with a debuff is going to take over that meta. I mean, I'm very excited to see how it plays. Dragon Tail getting buffed, in the past, but still being a pretty prevalent move in Master League, and even in Great League, right? That damage really adds up, and then if you're stuck in that matchup and you're getting it's going to be absolutely miserable to go up against that.
Yeah, and of course, in addition to Rayquaza, we have the primal versions of Groudon and Kyogre with their primal moves really making some headway in that Master League. Have you had the chance to play against them?
I personally have not had the chance to play against them, but I've been on social media this entire week, and I've seen some outrageous clips, right? I don't think it's quite fair. I mean, this last week in the Go Battle League is really just for fun, but being able to see Primal Kyogre, Primal Groudon, those guys hit really hard, and I really like it. It just feels really fresh to start injecting Pokemon in. I'm sure that we'll do a little bit of scaling to make sure that we're not really overwhelming some of the matchups. But it reminds me of when Megas first dropped, and Mega Charizard, one Blast Burn could almost take out a full Kyogre. Wow, it was pretty crazy. So I'm sure we'll see some scaling. It'll be great to see new Pokemon, of course, introduced into every single league, just to increase the diversity and give players more options.
Yeah, well, in addition to the Go Battle League, of course, we're going to have some very wonderful battles here in Knoxville. We have our 2 first trainers up on stage. We had a little bit of a sneak peek at something they might have been doing while we were waiting to send the battles to them. They were doing a bit of a lucky trade. How did it turn out for them?
Yeah, I think I would say they had a pretty average experience. We had a 15 attack lucky Pokemon come out, but I mean, just trading a Rotom Watch for Jingmo is probably not great. Somebody probably got the short end of the stick on that too.
Maybe a little bit of a short end of the stick, but both trainers definitely ended up happy, able to come together, meet at a regional event, and do their lucky trade. Though it's a bit interesting. I think they're actually both locals too close to Atlanta. So the fact that they waited until this regional event all the way up here in Knoxville, Tennessee, is a bit surprising, but maybe it just kind of gives it that much more meaning to be able to travel to a new city away from home. It's funny. DeFi mentioned Enhoff and I both from the Boston area, and the first thing I do when I get into town, I was going out to dinner last night. It's like, oh, hey, Enhoff, what's up, local? I'm meeting you for the first time in this different city that we're not normally in.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes though, I mean, especially for me coming from like the Midwest and Central Ohio, I mean, you have a bunch of friends in town, but you don't really get a chance to see them too much because you probably have your own grinding spots, and you know, again, you don't want to drive too much to just meet up for small events. I was looking forward to this event as well, the upcoming home tour. I'm pretty excited. Of course, we're going to be here in the booth for that, but you know, maybe afterwards we'll get to go out and catch some Pokemon here. But this is a great time to do lucky trades, as you'll be getting some of the regional exclusive Pokemon as well.
And now that it's after 10 a.m., all of the
Uh-oh. Oh, I'm playing on my PS5.
Yes. Go. Volcano. Harpoon. Yes. Go. Volcano. Harpoon! Yes! Go! Volcano! Yes! Go! Volcano! Harpoon! Yes! Go! Volcano!
Oh. They're doing it now. Alright. Fix this one.
Harpoon!
Huh. Hello.
Yes! Go! Volcano! Harpoon!
Okay, there's button. Alright. Any more? Stay on.
Harpoon!
Oh, it's the last one.
Yes! Go!
Volcano! Sorry. Kinda love that attack. Oh. And there's a pain enemy. Huh, no attack. I know it's a countdown.
Yes! Go! Volcano! Harpoon! Yes! Go! Volcano! Harpoon! Yes!
Oh, ah, shoot. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Sorry.
Go!
This is my first behind
Volcano!
in this video. Jerk. Come on.
Yes! Go! Volcano!
Oh, that held up. Alright.
Harpoon!
Wait, come on, sorry.
Yes! Go! Volcano! Yes! Go! Volcano! Harpoon!
Oh, shoot, that was the rest. Alright. Oh, shoot. Alright.
Yes! Go! Volcano!
Oh. Shouldn't have done that. Oh, wake up. Dragoon, open my eyes. Come again. Ah. I guess it's Morphin time. About time I can caught another one. Whoa. She talks about the first Dragoons. Oh shoot. I don't have to use Dragoons or put it, but I decided to skip this for now. Alright, I got any move going here. See you next time.